All right. So let's find a comfortable seat. Having a blanket or pillow underneath the hips to support. And a moment. Okay. We'll start with rubbing the palms of our hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. And we'll bring the fingertips or brush the fingertips across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. And bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. When you're ready, we'll float the hands down. You can keep your eyes closed or gaze softly downward. Extend the spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Lift your heart with each inhaling breath. Sitting bones sinking toward the earth with each exhale. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb the vibrations. Take another deep breath in. Hold. 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 Take a moment to absorb the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning and set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. Bringing your awareness back to the breath. Let each inhaling breath bring you here to this room, to this moment. Allow each exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. With your next inhaling breath, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the side. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding and opening, contracting and relaxing. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding your lungs in all directions with each inhale. Completely releasing the breath with each exhale. As we continue this full deep breath, let's move into Ujjayi or ocean breath. As you come to your next inhaling breath, think about focusing the inhale at the back of the throat. And again, with the exhale, focusing it at the back of the throat. Breathing strongly into the back of the body. And breathing out strongly. Continue this Ujjayi ocean breath. Take one more full breath. And then return to your natural breath. Taking a moment to notice any changes you feel in your mind or body. Remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. Bringing your awareness to your right hand, allow the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together and bring those fingertips to your heart center. Turning your attention deeper inward toward your heart, looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all of who you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down, gently open your eyes. If you'd like to switch your legs or change positions, please go ahead and do that. And with your next inhaling breath, let's gently scrunch our shoulders up by our ears. And as you exhale, press the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Bring the hands in front of the chest, palms facing down. Tuck the shoulder blades back and down, gently strengthening those muscles around the scapula, helping to hold it in place. And let's press the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart, gently squeezing the center of the shoulder blades toward each other. Breathing into the heart. Bringing out any tension through the middle of the shoulder blades. Then let's open the arms wide, turning the palms up. Draw the shoulder blades down, drawing the lower corners of the shoulder blades toward each other. Lifting the heart a little more if that feels okay. And again, if it feels okay for your wrists, flex the wrists, pressing through the palms. And let's bring the arms in front, crossing the right over the left. Bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or left hand around the right wrist, or hands at the shoulders. Finding whatever version feels right for you in this moment. Lifting the elbows to shoulder height and dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Gently pull the chin back toward the throat, lengthening the back of the neck. Squeeze the arms together or push the elbows away. Breathing into the upper back. As it feels okay, you can lower and lift the elbows with your breath. And with your next inhaling breath, if it feels okay, you can lift the elbows a little higher, gently arching. And then as you exhale, round the spine, drop the chin, let the weight of the arms open the back a little more. With your next inhale, lift up tall, unwrapping the arms, opening wide, pressing through the palms if that feels okay. Taking a breath in and out. And then we'll cross the arms in front, left over the right, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or right hand around the left wrist, or hands at the shoulders. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Again, draw the chin back toward the throat, lengthening the back of the neck. Squeezing the arms together or pressing the elbows away to begin stretching through the upper back, sending the breath there. And if it feels okay, you can begin lowering and lifting the elbows with the breath. And with your next inhaling breath, lifting the elbows up and back if that feels okay, gently arching. And as you exhale, rounding, dropping the chin toward the chest, letting the weight of the arms open the back. And with your next inhale, lifting up tall, unwrapping the arms, tucking the shoulders. Let's make some circles with our wrists. And reverse those circles. We'll bring the hands to the heart, interlacing the fingers. Press the palms out in front. Roll the shoulders forward, round the spine, drop the chin. With your next inhaling breath, lift the palms up over the head, gently arching. Exhale, round, pressing the palms away. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, leave the palms up and gently drop the chin toward the chest. Soften the elbows, and let's roll the upper corners of the shoulder blades toward each other, gently squeezing them, wringing out any tension. Release the jaw. Release the back of the neck a little more if that feels okay. And again, if it feels okay for your body, you could press the palms up toward the sky. With your next inhaling breath, lift the chin. And as you exhale, float the hands down. And take a breath in and out. Let's bring the left hand onto the right knee, right hand behind the left hip. Face forward, deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently twist toward the right, head comes around last. Lifting the heart with the inhale, gently twisting through your exhale. Hold and breathe. If it feels okay with your next inhale, you can turn your chin over your left shoulder. And then exhaling back to the right. With your inhale, sweep the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Lifting the heart, dropping the right hip toward the mat. Chin is gently away from the chest. Fingertips reaching across the ceiling. Breathing into the right side of the body, creating space. With your next inhale, lift up tall. And as you exhale, come back to the center. And take a breath in and out. And let's bring the right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip. Face forward, deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently twist toward the left. Head comes around last. Lifting your heart with your inhale, gently twisting through the exhale. Hold and breathe. Finding that edge between flexibility and inflexibility. With your next inhaling breath, if it feels okay, turn your chin over your right shoulder. As you exhale, come back to the left. With your next inhale, sweep the left arm up by the ear, lengthening toward the sky. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Left hip drops toward the mat. Heart lifts, chin is away from the chest, reaching through the fingertips. Breathing into the side of the body. And with your next inhale, lift up tall and exhale back to the center. Let's extend our legs out in front of us. And we'll scoot our feet down toward the end of the mat. Ooh, my knees are feeling stiff today after that. Let's take a moment to just bring our knees in and out. Just giving them a little lubrication. And when you're ready, switching to the other knee. And then we'll extend our legs out, rooting down through those sitting bones, lengthening the spine tall. We'll flex the feet, pointing the toes up toward the sky, noticing if the toes are kind of turning out to the side, seeing if we can have those point up toward the sky and our knees pointing up toward the sky as well. To engage the quadriceps by drawing the kneecaps up, lengthening through the spine. And if it feels okay, you can engage a little more and lift the heels off the floor. Reaching through the heels, tilting the pelvis forward gently to help lift the spine up tall. Notice your shoulders, and notice mine were rolling forward, so let them roll back. Your hands can be on the legs or on the floor. Sometimes bringing them back a little on the floor helps us keep those shoulders back. One more breath. And then soften the legs. Inhale, sweeping the arms up over the head. Exhale, slowly bending forward, listening to your body, hands on the legs, floor, or feet. Lengthen the spine with your inhale, softening those knees to ease the low back and hamstrings. Exhale, releasing. Follow the breath, lengthening and softening. With your next inhaling breath, lift up tall. Bring the hands behind the hips, fingertips facing toward the hips. We'll work with inclined plane or reverse table. So for inclined plane, feet are together, pressing the hips up high. Or reverse table, feet hip width apart, knees bent, lifting the hips high here. So whichever version feels right for you today. We'll bend those elbows, roll the shoulders back. And with your next inhale, press the hips up high. As you exhale, slowly lower and hover if that feels okay. Keeping the elbows slightly bent the whole time. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe, or continue coming up and down or rest. Elbows are soft so that those quad or triceps in the upper arms are working. Head is extended out from the spine or drawing the chin toward the chest. Just try not to drop the head onto the shoulders. Hips pressing high. One more breath. And with your exhale, gently lowering down. And we'll shake out those wrists. Let's round the spine and gently roll back using those belly muscles. Lengthening the spine out. Tucking the shoulders under. Just taking a moment to scan up the body. Noticing any parts that feel tired, achy, or sore. Honoring yourself and your body by listening to its messages. Pushing yourself to your edge, but not beyond it. And remembering that each time you do yoga, your body's a little bit different. Let's bend the right leg, floating the hands to the knee as you draw it in toward the chest. Lengthen through the neck, shoulders tuck under, soften around the hip. Keeping the left hand on the knee, let's let the right arm fall out to the side, either palm facing down or bending at the elbow. As you exhale, gently twist across the body. Vision toward the right arm, just as much as feels okay for the neck. Right hip comes off of the mat, foot comes across toward the floor. Release the muscles around the hip. Ease the spine into the twist. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center and extend the leg up toward the sky, taking hold behind the hamstring, calf, or ankle. As you exhale, toes reach toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. Now begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, stretching your foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Reaching through the heel, draw the belly muscles down toward the back, drawing the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Reaching through the heel, belly strong, neck is nice and long. If you need a little support behind or for your neck, you could also remove one hand and place that behind the head. And if you'd like a little extra challenge, you could flex the left foot, lift it gently off the floor, and you can also release the arms. Let's gently lower the left leg. With your inhale, lower the head and chest. And as you exhale, slowly lower the right leg. Once you reach the floor, take a deep breath in and out. Now let's bend the left leg, floating the hands to the knee as you draw it in toward the chest. Shoulders tuck under, neck is nice and long. Soften around the hip. Keeping the right hand on the knee, allow the left arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down. And as you exhale, gently twist over the right side of the body. Vision toward the left arm as much as feels okay for your neck. Left hip comes off of the mat, foot comes across toward the floor. Release the muscles around the hip. Easing the spine into the twist. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center, extending the leg up toward the sky. Take hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. As you exhale, toes reach toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. Now begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, stretching your foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Reaching through the heel, draw the belly muscles down toward the back, drawing the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. And stay here or with your next exhaling breath. Lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Reaching through the heel, belly strong, neck nice and long. And again, releasing a hand to support the head if that feels better for your neck. Flexing the right foot if you'd like, lifting that gently off the floor. And if you'd like, you can release the hands. And gently releasing the right leg. Inhale, lowering the head and chest. And as you exhale, slowly lower the leg. Take a deep breath in and out. Let's bend the knees, placing the feet on the floor. Tuck the shoulders under and bring the arms alongside the body. Lengthen the neck. We'll work with bridge pose. Press, lifting the toes, spreading them wide as you lower them down, rooting them into the floor. Pressing the shoulders back and down. With your next inhaling breath, scoop the pelvis and roll the spine up, one vertebrae at a time, keeping your vision toward the ceiling. As you exhale, gently roll the spine down. Inhale, scoop and lift. Exhale, roll the spine down. Once more, scoop and lift. And roll the spine down. Now let's lift our arms up toward the ceiling and interlace the fingers, but keep the pointer fingers extended. And then you'll notice your shoulders are a little off the floor, so drop them back onto the mat. We're going to kind of move them up and down as we combine them with the bridge pose, really working on getting into that upper back and giving it a little massage through our bridge pose to help release some of that tension. So big breath in and out. With your next inhale, we'll scoop the pelvis, rolling the spine up. Now push the fingertips up toward the sky, lifting the shoulders off the mat. And as you exhale, roll the spine down. Drop the shoulders back to the mat. Inhale, scooping the hips up high. Lift the arms up toward the sky and roll the spine down. Drop the shoulders. Inhale, scoop and lift. Lift the arms up as you roll back down. Let's do that one more time. Dropping the shoulders, scoop and lift. Lift the arms and roll the spine down. Drop the shoulders and we'll float the hands down. Let's bring the knees over the torso, gently hugging into Apanasana. Breathing into the belly. I want you to think about lengthening through the back of the neck and drawing the chin toward the throat. And release. Again, drawing the chin toward the throat, lengthening the back of the neck. And release. And one more time. Chin toward the throat, lengthen the back of the neck. And release. From here, you can either roll to your side, pressing up with your hands, or slip the hands behind the knees, kick the feet over the head, and gently rock up. And then let's come forward onto our hands and knees. Adding the cushion blanket underneath the knees if you need a little extra padding there. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We'll spread our fingers wide. Tuck the shoulder blades down the back, extend the head out. Draw the belly muscles up toward the back, strong table pose. Take a breath in and out. With your next inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the spine, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone around the spine, drop the chin. Inhale, lifting, spine follows. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Follow your breath 2 more times. And with your next inhale, come back to table pose, softening those elbows. Again, notice what's happening with the neck here. Sometimes we're jutting that chin out here, so gently drawing it toward the throat, not as firmly as we were when we were on our backs, but lengthening the back of the neck. Let's bring our awareness to the right leg. We're gonna lift that knee out to the side with that dog leg lift, and then wrap the knee back around toward the back and lower it to the mat, making that big circle with the hip. So inhale, lift, and around and down. Lift, around, and down. Let's switch and do the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg, bring it around to the back and down to the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, around and down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, around and down. Let's inhale the right leg straight back. Exhale, draw the knee in toward the chest. Inhale the leg back, lift the heart this time. Exhale, draw the knee in. Once more, reach back with that right leg, lift the heart, and stay here, or if it feels okay, extend that left arm out. We'll bring that left hand down, round the spine, draw the knee in toward the chest, and then lower the knee down. Shifting to the left leg, let's inhale, reaching the left leg back. Exhale, draw the knee in toward the chest. Inhale, reach back with the leg, lift the heart. Exhale, round, drawing the knee in. Once more, lift, leg and heart. Stay here, or if it feels okay, extending that right arm out. And we'll lower the right arm, round the spine, bringing the knee in, and then lowering the knee to the mat. We'll walk our hands out a few inches, tuck the toes under, and lift the hips up and back into downward dog. Soften the knees and lengthen the spine. Reaching back through those hips. Roll the shoulder blades back toward each other. Head is between the arms with the chin gently away from the chest. If it feels okay, you could float the heels down toward the mat, rooting through the balls of the feet, the heels of the hands, and lifting up through the sitting bones. Lengthening through the back first, and then lengthening the legs as it feels okay. One more breath. With your next inhale, let's shift the weight over our wrists. So shoulders coming over the wrists, coming into plank pose. If you need to come onto forearms for this, please do that so you're not hurting your wrists. Engage the quadriceps, reach back through the heels, tuck the shoulders, softening those elbows a little, and lengthen through the back of the neck. You can also bring the knees down here as you work on developing that strength. And with your next exhale, let's gently lower down. I'm gonna move my teacup here so I can have room for my hands. We're gonna bring our hands outside of our mat, kind of coming up onto the fingertips like tents. And then tilting those elbows forward so they're stacked over our wrist. Zip the legs together, pressing the top of the feet into the mat. Pressing the pelvic bone into the mat. With your next inhaling breath, lift the head and chest into a gentle cobra. Hold and breathe. And if it feels okay, bring that right ear over the right shoulder gently. Coming back to the center with the head, we'll exhale, lowering down. Take a breath in and out. And with your next inhale, lifting up tall. And as you exhale, bringing that left ear over the left shoulder as that feels okay. Hold and breathe. Coming back to the center, we'll exhale, lowering down. Let's bring the arms alongside the body, resting the chin or forehead on the mat, whatever feels best for you. We'll rock the hands underneath the thighs, working with locust pose. Let's inhale, pressing the pelvic bone down and lifting the right leg behind us. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Thinking about dropping the right hip into the mat, using the glutes and the buttocks to lift the leg. With your next exhale, gently lower the leg down. Take a breath in and out. Pressing the pelvic bone down into the mat. With your inhale, lift the left leg behind you. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Dropping that right hip into the mat, using the glutes to lift the leg. And with your next exhale, lowering down. Take a breath in and out. And we'll work with both legs at the same time, unless that feels like too much for your low back today. If it feels like too much, go ahead and just alternate the legs instead of lifting with both. So press the pelvic bone into the mat, and with your next inhale, we'll lift. Exhale, lower. Upper body is heavy into the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Once more, lift. And lower. And bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Pressing back into table pose. Just make some small arches with the back, some little baby cat-cows. Releasing some of that tension after all that work. Then you can walk your hands out, coming into Recline Puppy. Or if it feels okay for your knees, you could bring the hips back to the heels for Child's Pose. You can also place a blanket on the calves for a little extra support for the knees, so that you don't have to go all the way back if that feels good. So finding the position that feels right for your body in this moment. Allowing the forehead to rest on the floor or adding a block or stacked fists under the forehead so it has somewhere to rest. Breathing into the spine. Creating space between the vertebrae with the breath. With your next exhale, release the weight of the body a little bit more, truly letting the earth support you. And bringing the hands under the shoulders and rolling the spine up one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last, shoulders back and down. We'll come to kneeling, tuck the toes under, can gently kind of lean back, working on stretching those knees. If it feels okay, you could sit back on the heels. You can also have the hands on the mat, just working on stretching the bottom of the feet, whatever way feels good for you today. One more breath. And let's bring the feet to the mat. Coming into Uttanasana, forward bend. We'll bring our toes to 10 and 2 and then align the heels with our big toes, finding that hip width apart for our body. If you'd like to have a block underneath your hands, please add that. And let's soften the knees, letting those ribs rest onto the thighs and releasing the back of the head. As it feels okay, you can lift the sitting bones up toward the sky, being sure not to lock the knees. And if you'd like, you can interlace your fingers and gently hook them at the back of the head, right on the occipital lobe. So the fingers are kind of across the neck, but hooking them onto the occipital lobe. We're not pulling, we're just letting them rest there gently. Releasing the back of the neck a little more if that feels okay. Letting the spine lengthen. And gently sliding the hands over the head and back to the floor. Let's inhale, rolling the spine up, one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up left, shoulders back and down. And we'll come to the end of our mat. Let's work with warrior one. So we're gonna start with the right foot forward and the left foot back. Left foot, is at a 45-degree angle. Hips are facing toward the front or opening toward that front left corner of the mat. Let's start with just bending that right leg and stacking the knee over the ankle. You can adjust your placement if you feel like you can go a little deeper or if you need to come back a little bit. Noticing if your knee is kind of pulling in or out and stacking that knee over the ankle, pushing into that right foot, and then reaching back with the left heel. Let's start with the hands at the heart, actively pushing into the feet, whoop, or sliding. Let's bring our elbows out at cactus. Really thinking about drawing those shoulder blades down the back, lifting the heart, rooting through the feet. And if it feels okay, gently pressing that right hip back, left hip comes forward. Adding a gentle arch by lifting the heart. With your next inhale, straighten the leg, lower the hands. Let's interlace the hands behind the back, or you can also bring the hands to the elbows. We'll roll the shoulders back, lengthen through the spine, pressing into that front foot and to the back heel. With your next exhale, hinge at the hips, pressing the hips behind you, lengthening the spine out over the leg. Working to be parallel to the floor if you can. And then we'll draw, my feet are slippery today. Draw the chin toward our chest, or excuse me, not the chest, toward our throat as we did earlier. Pressing that right hip back, lengthening through the hamstrings. I have too much lotion on my feet today. If it feels okay, you can let the ribs come a little closer toward the thigh. You can also drop the head. Really just listen to your body. Only do that if it feels okay for your back and neck. Legs are nice and strong. If it feels okay, you could press the palms together and lift the arms up over the back, adding that chest opener. And we'll float the hands to the back and release the hands onto the mat. We're going to shift our weight forward. So we're going to bend the right knee. And let's lift the left leg behind us, just like we did when we were in table pose. Engaging those glutes, nice long spine. Can stay here, can have hands on blocks here as well, or you can lift the torso, moving into arrow warrior, reaching those arms behind us, flying through the air. We'll float the hands back down and lower that left leg, softening the knees, Uttanasana, forward bend. Lengthening through the back of the legs just as much as feels okay. And with your next inhale, sweeping the arms out and up, palms together over the head, and exhale, hands to the heart. You can breath in and out. And now we'll step back with the right leg. I'm going to turn so I'll be more open to you all. So left foot points toward the short end of the mat. Right heel drops back. Again, our hips are toward the front, but open toward that front right corner of the mat this time. Let's think about bending that knee. We want to make sure the knee doesn't go past the toes. So if we need to walk the toes forward a little bit more, go ahead and do that, or back, depending on how you've set your legs. Knee stacked over the ankle, not pulled in or out, just stacked over the ankle. Pressing back through the right heel. Left hip presses back gently, right hip forward. We'll bring the hands to the heart. Rooting through both feet, nice strong legs. Notice what's happening with the neck. If it's jutting out a little, draw that back, lengthening the back of the neck. And then if it feels okay, you could bring the elbows out to cactus, drawing those shoulder blades down the back, lifting the heart. Rooting through the feet, lifting the heart a little more, gently arching, bringing the vision up slightly if that feels okay. And with your next inhale, straighten the leg, and we'll float the hands down, interlacing the hands behind the back or taking hold at the elbows. Lengthening the spine, shoulders back and down. Oops, sorry, I got a hair in my eye. Lifting that heart as you exhale, hinging at the hips and folding over that front leg, just as far as feels okay. Finding as close to parallel as feels okay for your body today. Pressing into both feet, keeping that back leg strong and active by drawing those quadriceps up. Tuck the chin toward the throat gently. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, you can begin to lower the ribs toward the thigh and release the back of the neck. And again, if it feels okay, you can add the chest opener, pressing the palms together, shoulders are rolled back, and then lifting the arms up over the head. You can always use a strap in the hands as well. Sorry, I didn't say that earlier. Gently lowering the hands to the low back and then dropping them to the mat. We'll bend the knee, shifting the weight onto the left foot. Lifting that right leg behind us, again, just as we did earlier. Hands on the floor or blocks for support. Stay here, or if it feels okay, lifting the torso, releasing the floor with the hands, bringing them back by the hips, coming into Arrow Warrior. Lowering the hands down and lowering the leg. Coming back into Uttanasana. Releasing the neck, softening the knees. Now let's step our right foot back and walk our hands over to the center. So we'll face the long end of the mat coming into our wide-legged forward bend. Softening those knees, pressing up with the hips. Feet are just as wide as feels okay for your body today. Having a block under the hands if that is helpful as well. Let's walk the hands over toward the right leg. Hands on the floor, block or leg, turning the torso to face the thigh as you lengthen down over the leg. Right heel roots into the floor as the right hip lifts up toward the sky. Coming back to the center and across to the left. Hands on the floor, block or leg, turning the torso to face the thigh, lengthening down over the leg. Rooting into the left foot, lifting up through the left hip. And coming back to the center. Let's walk the feet closer toward each other, stopping just outside of hip width apart, moving into Malasana squat. We'll drop the hips, coming into a high squat if you would like, working more on strengthening or listening to your knees. If you feel like you want to lower down, you can place a block in the center behind your heels, dropping down to that, or just dropping down toward the heels if that feels okay for your knees, or coming all the way down to the mat, walking the feet a little further apart, pressing the elbows or upper arms into the knees or thighs. Lengthening through the back of the neck again, pulling the chin gently toward the throat. Tailbone reaches down toward the earth. Notice where you might be holding on, where you can let go. And then let's gently lower the rest of the way down if you're not there already. And we'll come back and meet in the cross-legged position. Sending the spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Up. Lift the heart. And as you exhale, drop the right ear over the right shoulder. Tucking the right shoulder back and down. Breathing into the left side of the neck. If it feels okay, you can bring that left arm across the low back. And if it feels okay, you could reach the right arm out and then bending the elbow, resting that right hand on the left ear. Heart stays lifted. Arm is just resting gently. With your next inhale, release the hands, come back to the center. And as you exhale, we'll drop the left ear over the left shoulder, tucking the left shoulder back and down. Breathing into the right side of the neck. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, bringing that right arm across the low back. And if it feels okay, extending the left arm out to the side, bending the elbow, and resting the left hand on the right ear. Gently letting go. With your next inhale, release the hands, come back to the center. As you exhale, turn your chin over your right shoulder, shoulders back and down, heart lifted. Hold and breathe. With your next inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, turn the chin over the left shoulder, shoulders back and down, hold and breathe, heart is lifted. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. And let the breath go. Let's bend the knees, coming to the center of the mat. Rounding the spine, dropping the chin. We'll roll onto our backs. Bending the knees, lifting the feet up toward the sky. Can rock your hands or a block underneath the hips to support the legs. Lengthen through the neck. Ankles and knees are soft as you breathe into the belly. Bend the knees, rock the hands or block out from underneath the hips. And then bring the knees over the torso, gently hugging them into the belly. You can rock a little side to side, massaging the low back. Or if it feels okay, you could bring the knees in and out, making circles with the low back. And if you're making circles, you can reverse those. Bringing the arms out to the side in a T, knees together. We'll do one last twist, dropping the knees to the right, vision to the left. With your next inhaling breath, engage the belly muscles and lift the knees back to the center. And as you exhale, lower to the left, vision to the right. Gently letting go. With your next inhale, come back to the center. Lowering the feet down, we'll extend the legs out into Shavasana. Or if it feels better, you can bring the feet out to the edges of the mat, resting the knees together. You can also have a bolster underneath the knees. And then maybe even covering up just a little, maybe even just on the belly or chest to keep a little warmth in your body. Tuck the shoulders back and down. If your legs are extended, allow the feet to rest about hip width apart. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. If you would like to receive Reiki through this Shavasana practice, just open yourself to receive it. Bring your awareness back to the breath, allowing each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm, allowing each exhale to release anything that no longer serves you. Let the breath bring you back to your heart center, reconnecting with the light and joy that always reside deep within your heart. Let each breath fill your heart with loving kindness for yourself. Sending that loving kindness to each and every cell of your body. Honoring all of who you are in this moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, you can gently bend your knees, roll to your side, and rest there for a moment. And gently return to a seated position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. For our world, for our community, and for ourselves. Thank you all so much for taking time for yourselves and joining me today.